Where's Mom?
She's probably home waiting for us. She'll give you a great big hug when we get back.
Welcome to the chapel. My name is Frank Morgan. I was the visiting organist. Welcome.
It seems most of the other people I've met were inmates.
I guess I just grew attached to this wonderful old organ. Well, and of course, I couldn't be away today of all days.
What's so special?
April 23rd is the feast day of St. George. It's also Shakespeare's birthday, which altogether makes it a great day for England. And of course, there's always tomorrow.
What happens then?
Why, it's your birthday, Oliver. St. Mark's Eve. Did you know children born that day can see spirits and talk to ghosts? I guess you're proving the legend true.
I don't believe in the supernatural. If I'm lucky, this is all a dream. If I'm not, then I'm having some kind of prolonged hallucination.
It always amazes me how far people will go to close their eyes on what's all around them. Very well, Oliver. Believe what you will.
Guy's had ghosts talking to him all night, and he still doesn't believe it. Regularly scheduled religious services took place here in the chapel. It was also a popular spot for patients recovering from psychosurgery. The dark, peaceful atmosphere seemed to soothe even the most troubled patients. With his love of all things English, the original owner of the mansion, Charles Connolly, dedicated the chapel to St. George, the patron saint of England. This dedication became particularly apt during the asylum years, as St. George is also the patron saint of hospitals. Stained glass windows around the walls all depict religious martyrs. Oddly enough, the patron saint of England and the legendary slayer of the dragon was not even English. He was a 4th century Roman soldier who, according to legend, rescued a Libyan king's daughter from the dragon, but would only slay the monster if all the king's subjects agreed to convert to Christianity. St. George became a Christian martyr when, in a series of trials, he was killed several times, then miraculously restored to life each time, only to undergo yet another gruesome death. 60 nails were driven into his head, his hands and feet were cut off, his body was sawn off, he was beheaded, and finally he was quartered by being pulled apart by horses. His feast day is April 23rd.
He didn't die of old age either. He was poisoned, stabbed, shot, hung, stretched, disemboweled, drawn, and quartered. Ouch.
Psychosurgery is the destruction or removal of body tissue in an attempt to relieve psychiatric symptoms. The most commonly known psychosurgical procedure is the prefrontal lobotomy. However, other procedures are employed, here and elsewhere, based on theories of the cause of mental illness. These included gynecological procedures exclusive to women, hormonal surgeries, and surgeries based on the focal infection theory. While some of these theories and procedures have since been discredited, others are still regarded as accepted practices in today's therapeutic environment. Believing that hormonal imbalance was the cause of mental disorders, tens of thousands of patients had one or more of their endocrine glands removed. The most popular targets were the thyroid or adrenal glands, but ovarectomies, male castration, and removal of all or parts of other glands was not Based on the mistaken belief that mental illness in women was caused by gynecological disorders, many treatments were directed at women's reproductive organs. In cases where a woman's manic episodes seemed especially acute during her menstrual period, surgeons would remove her ovaries in an attempt to calm her. Some therapists inserted a double uterine exciter, which applied an electric current to the uterus for up to 10 minutes at a time. Others made hot water injections into the vagina. Women who were believed to masturbate excessively were subjected to clitoral cauterization. Ooh. An American doctor, Henry Cotton, developed the theory that all mental illnesses begin with toxins produced at infection sites around the body that then travel to the brain. So the sources of these infections should be surgically removed. Cotton declared that psychotic patients all have infected teeth, so he pulled them all. He also generally removed the tonsils and the sinuses. In some cases, he amputated women's cervixes, fallopian tubes, ovaries, and uterus. Males he castrated. If If all that failed, he removed the colon, although this procedure resulted in a 30% mortality rate. Cotton's detoxification methods were hailed in the 20s and 30s, but fell into disfavor when others could not duplicate his claimed successes. I doubt any of that's real. I've never heard of it. In 1935, a Portuguese surgeon named Antonio Egas Moniz theorized that severe anxiety could be relieved by severing the nerve pathways in the two frontal lobes of the brain. Moniz was awarded the 1949 Nobel Prize for Medicine for this pioneering work in psychosurgery. His technique of boring two holes in the skull was altered by American Walter Freeman, who invented the transorbital lobotomy. Freeman's procedure involved peeling back the upper eyelid and driving an ice pick through the thin bone at the back of the eye socket with a few taps of a hammer. Once the pick entered the frontal lobe, he twisted it up and down and side to side, destroying all the brain tissue in its path. Freeman traveled the country, carrying his ice pick in his pocket to popularize the procedure. He once performed a lobotomy in a motel room. By 1955, more than 40,000 Americans had been lobotomized. Yeah, it might cure them, or supposedly fix the problem, but they're just left vegetables.
Once the ice pick was inserted below the eyelid, a few taps of this hammer were sufficient to break through into the brain. This ice pick was used by Dr. Metcalf to perform over 500 prefrontal lobotomies.
God. Just thinking about that makes me shiver. Can't imagine how much that must have hurt.
They're meant to handle overflow from the pubes, although I don't recall that ever being necessary. Beautiful, isn't it? The glass was imported from France.
Looks like there's something back here.
They had a chaplain who actually lived on the premises and performed the services. I just played the organ.
It's welded together.
Afraid not. It weighs several hundred pounds.
Where's an oil can when you need it?
Doesn't make a dent.
Doesn't look like there's anything I can do with it right now. Running out of ideas.
We have nothing to discuss, Olive.
Make sure we keep our promise to Abe.
Yay, you came back, just like you promised. Let's play more I Spy.
Sure, why not?
Let's go.
Better to do.
Great. I spy with my little eye something that's white.
A lot of white things in here.
Right. Let's keep playing. I spy with my little eye something that begins with tiger. I've started a tunnel, Dad. I'm gonna dig my way out. I saw them do it on Scooby-Doo.
Be careful, Josh. Don't hurt yourself.
Okay, Dad.
Hey, Josh. I need help with a kind of a riddle.
What is it?
What is something that begins with tiger? You know, like in a game of I Spy.
Let me see. Tigers go grrr. How about grapes? Or maybe ground?
Thanks, Josh. You've been a big help.
Pretty smart kid.
Great! Get it? A tiger goes growl. I used to be afraid of all kinds of animals, just like the Cowardly Lion and the Wizard of Oz. But now I'm not afraid anymore.
Do you?
Oh yes, especially the ruby slippers.
How come you're not afraid?
I just pretend I'm made of metal like the Tin Man. Then if an animal bites me, it won't hurt.
I think that's smart thinking.
The operation still hurt though. But Dr. Metcalf isn't like an animal who's trying to hurt me. He's trying to make me better. So that's different.
Is he your favorite?
Nope, Scarecrow. The Tin Man has that hollow sound that's kind of scary. Like the night in the chapel.
You mean there's nothing in there?
Sure. We used to lift up the visor and put stuff in there all the time. Then they told us we couldn't do that anymore.
I like how his legs are all rubbery.
I think Dorothy liked them too. Remember at the end when she said, "I'll miss you most of all." That's what I said to my mom when they brought me here. That's why I want my doll so much. It reminds me of her.
Such a sad story. Metcalf needs to pay. Trouble is, he's already dead. I'd like to have 5 minutes with him alive.
What are you doing? Leave that alone!
There's something inside that I need.
I say, your hacksaw snapped clean in two.
Show don't tell game. Show don't tell.
Those straps hold the arms and the breastplate on.
Okay, let's cut. Hello, it's the doll. Careful now.
How do they carry these things around?
Because if I'm right... Yep. Oh, shit.
Going for a ride, Oliver? Do be careful.
Ah! Some kind of crypt?
Ah, that would be the question. How? Wondering where the next spear will come from?
It's locked. It should fit the lock, but I can't reach
How
it.
do you know that?
The problem with these spears is that you never know where the next one is going to come from.
I guess it's my only shot, though. Or maybe there's some other way to get out of here. Pick it? No. Will this work?
Doesn't fit.
No. Do I have a key?
Sorry, the key you need isn't on that ring.
Pick it with that? No. Can I break it? No. Can I smash it? No. Got that? No.
You won't be able to dodge them forever. Don't you think you should leave?
Yeah, thanks, Malcolm. I'm trying.
Too far.
Nope, I guess that's it.
Your luck has run out. Too bad, Oliver.
Okay, so now let's get that key. Enough playing around. Take this, and we can reach the key.
Good idea. You should probably hurry.
Darn you, Malcolm. So smug.
Excellent, Oliver. Well done.
Tempted to leave, but there might be something I need in here.
Congratulations. You have lived to fight another day. They died to advance science.
It's wrong to experiment on people.
We didn't experiment on them. We tried to cure them. You simply do not understand science, Oliver. You must try new things to see if they work. Otherwise, progress will never be made.
You killed them.
Sometimes people have to die so that others may live. These patients were unlucky.
Unlucky that they had you as their doctor, quack.
That's old Seamus. I believe you met him upstairs. Ah, Jane. She was too fragile for this place. Always wanting to go home. She died when an attendant locked her in the heat chamber and then went on a coffee break and forgot her. Jack Kramer. He was a tough one. He died when 5 attendants ganged up on him and strapped him in the ECT chair. They turned it on full power for 5 minutes. I had to reprimand them severely. Merrill Martin, or perhaps you remember her as Lorena. She died during surgery after she swallowed her locket. That's Marilyn Wilson. She burned herself to death with that stupid lighter. That's a memorial to your little friend from the surgery. His parents think he's buried here. We know differently, don't we? They died. Lavinia Willoughby. One day she decided that Queen Elizabeth was going to kill her, so she hanged herself first. That's your old friend Seamus. That marker is for Nick Brennan. I wanted to see if the bubonic plague would drive out his Alzheimer's. It didn't. My final resting place, or it will be as soon as this evening's work is done.
Can't lift it.
Why would you want to open that? Why? Like in the horror movies, you're sitting there screaming at the TV, "Don't go in there!" But they do. And usually they die. So how do I stop a guy who's already dead?